This is Fluency, Module 3, Lesson 22. We're going to look at another way of dividing, and we're going to look at it a little bit with area models. This is probably, we won't do much with this, but just so that you have a basic understanding in it, and then we'll use number bonds as well. So what we're looking at over here is that we have 2 is our width, and we would, if we were trying to find the dimensions, then we would we'd be trying to find, well, how many times does 2 times what equals 60? And if we think about that, well, we know that 2 times 30 is equal to 60, and 2 times what is equal to 8? Well, that's 4. Another way we could look at that, if that doesn't come as quickly to our heads, is to take our number 60 plus 8, which is 68, put it at the top of our number bond, and then we're going to separate that. So we're going to decompose it into 60 plus 8. Now that becomes a little bit easier, and we can say, well, 60 divided by 2, which is our width over here, and 8 divided by 2. And what we're trying to figure out, again, is 60 divided by 2 is going to give us the length here of 60, and then the 8 divided by 2 will give us the length here, which we have already put in, but we'll do it in a different order next time. So 60 divided by 2, well, we know that that's 30, because we can say 6 tens divided by 2 is 3 tens, or 30, and 8 ones divided by 2 is 4. So our total across the top is 34. Another one, and maybe it will become a little more clear as we do this. So if we look at our 2 numbers here, and we've got an area model with a width of 3, we also have an area 90 for area and 6 for area. So when we add those together, we get 96, and then we'll put that at the top of our number bond. And then we're going to decompose it, just like they did with the area model. So we'll decompose 96 into 90 plus 6. When you add those together, they should equal what we have up on top. So now we know that our width is 3, so we're going to divide by 3. We're going to say, well, what's 90 divided by 3? Well, 9 tens divided by 3 is 3 tens, so that gives us 30. So right here, our length is 30. Then we have 6, still divided by 3, because 3 is the same thing over here, and that's 2. So our length here is 2. Our total of width length is 96 when we add 30 and 2 together. I'm sorry. When we add 30 and 2 together, we get 32. That was silly of me, just being in a hurry. And then we know 96 divided by 3 is equal to 32. We can confirm that by saying 32 times 3, 2 times 3 being 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. So we've just checked our work. All right, let's look at this next one. We are looking at 70 plus 2, which gives us 72. At the top of our number bond, we're going to decompose it into 70 and 2. And if we look at our side, actually that is probably not going to work. I think what we'll decompose it into is, 60 and 12. 60 plus 12 is still equal to 72. And the reason that I changed that is because we have a width here of 3. And I know right away that 3 is not going to go into 2 very comfortably. But if we do our whole thing, 72, we could say 60 divided by 3 and 12 divided by 3. So 60 divided by 3 is 6 tens divided by 3. Gives us 2 tens, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 72 divided by 3 is equal to 24. Let's look at number 4. I want you to try this one again, and let's just work with when we add our 2 our areas together, 70 plus 2, we get 72. So that's what I think we're going to work with. We're going to go 72 in our number bond. And we're going to figure out how many times 4 goes into that. I think, once again, that we'll divide it into 60 and 12. So 60 divided by 4 and 12 divided by 4. Now, we may not know 60 divided by 4 right off the top of our head. So we're going to go ahead and do that as a division problem. 4 goes into 6 one time, and we're going to subtract that 4 from our tens. We're left with 2 10s and no 1s, and 4 goes into 25 times. So 60 divided by 4 is 15, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So our total for our division problem, or our total length here, is going to be 18. 4 times 18 being 72. All right, we have done these before. We're going to be finding the unknown factor. So once again, look at the multiplication problem. Think in your head, this should come right away. 3 times what is 9? Well, 3 times 3. So that means we're going to look at we've got our unknown factor of 3 from the first page, and then if we complete the division sentence, 9 divided by 3, well, we get 3. Find the unknown factor 4 times 4 is 16. That should have come to you pretty quickly. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And we know, again, division and multiplication can be used, they're kind of the opposite of each other. You can check your division by taking your quotient and multiplying it by your divisor, which is 4 times 4, and getting your dividend, 16. Unknown factor, 5 times, you should have said 9 there. So our unknown factor is 5 times 9 is 45. So our division sentence, 45 divided by 5, is equal to 9. 6 times blank equals 42. You should have written 7 on your whiteboard. So if we had 6 times 7 is equal to 42, we know also that 42 divided by 6 is 7. 7 times, this is tricky, but what you should have said is 8. 7 times 8 equals 56. We'll fill that in again. 7 times 8 is 56, and our division sentence is 56 divided by 7 equals 8. 9 times what is equal to 72? You should have written 8. That's still true on the next page. 9 times 8 is 72, and 72 divided by 9 is 8. 6 times blank is equal to 54. Well, 6 times 9 is 54. And 54 divided by 6 is 9. These should be coming pretty quickly to you now. We're practicing them, and I know for some of you this seems like, really, I know this, why do we keep doing this? But this should get so that you just automatically know these facts, so that it will be very, very quick for you, and your fluency will improve. So 9 times what is equal to 54? So our factor here is 9 times 6 is equal to 54. So 9 times 6 is 54, then 54 divided by 9 is going to be equal to 6. Our unknown factor here, 7 times what factor is equal to 63? You should have written 9. 7 times 9 is 63. Therefore, 63 divided by 7 is equal to 9. Unknown factor 6 times. What factor is 54? Well, 6 times 9 is equal to 54. And that's true on this page. And 54 divided by 6 is equal to 9. You should be seeing this pattern that we have 6 times 9 equals 54. So 54 divided by 6 equals 9. You see how they are sort of reciprocal here. Let's look at 25. We're going to do some multiplication. Now this multiplication, again, we're going to say the unit name and then the answer. So 4 ones times 2 ones is equal to 8 ones, or 8. 4 ones times 2 tens is equal to 8 tens, or 80. 2 ones times 4 tens is equal to 80. Same thing. Even though we went from 4 times 20 to 2 times 40, they still both equal 80. And then we have 2 tens times 4 tens is equal to 8 hundreds. All right, let's go on to this next one. 3 times 3, 9, or 3 ones times 3 ones is 9. 3 times 30 is 90, 3 times 3 tens, and 30 times 30 is 900. 3 tens times 3 tens is 900. Our last one of these, 3 times 4 is equal to 12. 3 times 40, or 3 times 4 tens, is equal to 12 tens, or 120. 30 times 4, or 3 tens times 4, which is again just the reverse of what we just did, is equal to 12 tens, 120. And 30 times 40, 3 tens times 4 tens is equal to 12 hundreds, or 1,200. That's the end of Fluency Module 3, Lesson 22.